We stopped to rest at a bend where the stream disappeared into a slot canyon. The walls there rose steeply, smooth and close together. Daisy ran ahead, slipping through the narrow gap before we could stop her. We heard her splashing and barking on the other side, but the sound changed. Her bark turned into a whine, then to frightened yelps. We called her, but there was no way through. The slot was too tight for either of us to enter. The rock faces were sheer and polished from years of floodwater. We could hear her still moving and splashing somewhere inside, but we couldn't see her. I could tell she was in trouble. The echoes of her whining carried through the canyon, followed by brief silence, then more desperate sounds. The water inside the slot must have been deep. Up ahead the canyon widened slightly, and we climbed to a ledge overlooking the slot. We were about 50 feet above it, directly over a deep pool. The water there was black and motionless, except for the ripples from where Daisy must have entered. Mark called down and scanned the depths with a flashlight, but it was too dark to see the bottom. Then we heard something else, a low moan, deep and strange, coming from the same area. At first we thought it might be Daisy, but it was far too deep. For several moments, everything was silent again. Then Daisy's cries changed the tone, followed by the sound of splashing, as if something large had entered the water with her. The noise echoed through the canyon, then stopped completely. We were terrified she had been attacked by something, maybe a cougar or a bear, but the sound that followed was unlike any animal we knew. It was a heavy, deep grunt. Then, without warning, Daisy appeared again, scrambling out of the narrow gap, soaked and trembling. She stumbled toward us, panting hard and covered in mud and river debris. There was no way she could have climbed out by herself. The sides were too smooth, the distance too high. Something had lifted her up and pushed her through that slot. We wrapped her in a blanket and waited, listening for any sound from below. For several minutes there was nothing. Then came another low, rumbling moan, followed by what sounded like a short exhale, almost like a sigh. We stayed frozen where we were, staring at the black water below, unsure what we were hearing. Eventually the sound faded. When we finally made our way back down toward the river, Daisy refused to go near that part of the canyon again.